Now you guys know how capable the White River Knives URSUS 45 is. The shape, the dimensions, and the profile are ideal for tasks around the campsite. So it only makes sense that they would give birth to the URSUS Cub, coming in at 3.5 inches of blade length, built out of MagnaCut steel, showing that they're hoping to replicate the legendary status of the parent design, just in a more compact package, better suited to run in tandem with your giant choppers, or to potentially replace your folding pocket knives with a compact EDC-sized fixed blade. So now, having put it through its paces here in the Blade Bootcamp as well as in the backcountry, I'm looking forward to unpacking the design, running in some other competitive options, also built out of MagnaCut, to see how the Cub stacks up, to see if it's all just unicorns and rainbows, or are there maybe some hidden aspects and attributes that might make you think twice about putting this in your rotation. You regular viewers, thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, I'm Aaron, this is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in. So as we get up close and personal on the Stonewash blade, it connects with me on such a primal level. Just like its parent, this really well executed drop point, it's so simple, but you just look at it and you're like, look at that, just look at it. You know it's gonna be a workhorse, and it's just going to lift in the areas that you want your blade to perform in. It's not flashy, but it's so capable. And that is executed not with only that very high saber grind, that's basically giving you an inch almost of full flatness up there near the tip, at that obviously 3.5 inches, as I stated earlier, on a stock thickness of 0.13, basically an eighth, that slowly tapers to the tip. So you're getting durability, but it's very slicey. You're gonna get great slicing capability for a fixed blade. Now, obviously, like a full flat grind pocket knife would be slicier with a thinner stock, like the Spyderco, but this for a fixed blade is gonna go right through cardboard. You're gonna be able to do all sorts of other utility if you're wanting to use this around your property as an EDC knife, or around town, on your job, you're a rancher, you're not really a bushcrafter. This would absolutely do that and be a little bit more durable than your pocket knives on just the way the blade is designed. Then if we flip over to outdoor use, it's still gonna have a lot of capability and be great for those feather sticks, notching, woodworking, spear points, doing those type of things. Because it's a shorter blade and it's thin, you're gonna be able to manipulate and slice like you want it to do. And what I've found is when I'm wielding a large chopper or hatchet to do my heavy duty woodworking, I actually gravitate more to these compact fixed blades, because I'm getting precision like a pocket knife, but better ergonomics and obviously durability for not that much larger a footprint or weight. And you'll be able to control it better than the full-size URSUS if you really like doing precise cuts with your bushcrafting aspects. Now, this is MagnaCut steel. Everyone's talking about MagnaCut. Everyone wants MagnaCut. There's a reason for that. If you've been under a rock, I mean, I've talked about it a bunch. Most people are familiar with it now. It's a stainless steel. White River Knives does some of the best Rockwell choices and heat treating I have seen in American-made knives. So they have done 62 to 64 Rockwell for this MagnaCut, which is perfect for this size a knife, bringing it up a little bit on that Rockwell, holding the edge a little bit longer, giving a little bit more hardness than some other companies I've seen that kind of bring it down. I think honestly because they're scared of it and they're afraid that it's going to damage. I have not seen any sort of issues. MagnaCut is tougher than knives like steel, like M390 and 20CV, so it'll have more durability. It won't hold its edge as long as those steels, but I've seen better wear resistance than, say, S35VN and even S30V in my personal experience. So it's kind of this blending between the two, good levels of durability, good levels of edge retention, while being very rust resistant all at the same time. But before we go any further in the video, I do want to invite you, if you're enjoying this type of content, to hit the like button and to consider subscribing if you're not yet a subscriber here at the channel, making sure to hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every week when I break down new pieces of gear and equipment to help you better determine for yourself if it's right to throw into rotation and start using, or not. And it is you, the viewers, in partnership with our regular sponsors, that help me get out here and test that gear and equipment. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is 511, and want to make you aware of 511 days going on now through May 14th where you can score 20% off gear and apparel. And I always look forward to this sale. In fact, I just pulled the trigger on 3 pieces of gear I've been having my eye on for a while. And whether it's days at the range that you have planned with all of their different plate carriers, pouch organizers, and my favorite 2-banger and 4-banger slings that I always have ready to go at a moment's notice. Or if you have heavy loads to haul, there's the legendary Rush series of backpacks, including several of their starter bundles that have everything included to get you going. Along with a huge selection of some of my all-time favorite pairs of pants, the 511 Apex series, and I have 2 pairs that are over 3 years old that are still going strong. So I'll have links in the description box below over to the 511 website where you guys can go ahead and start exploring all the different pieces of gear and equipment. Or you can hop on over to your local brick and mortar store so you can get your hands on that piece of gear you've been eyeballing. So I invite you to check them out and get geared up for all your upcoming adventures. Now the sheath on the Cub is perfect for belt carry, but definitely leaves something to be desired if you like carrying your fixed blades in other locations. Let me explain. The pancake design is super well executed, lots of different lashing points. We got a drainage hole, we got a beautiful thumb ramp that will easily deploy the blade. They have now put a tension screw. I love to see that. I highlighted that when we did the original review on the URSUS, that there was a slit here, but no screw, so you had to like modify that. What that means is when it's down like this, good tension to deploy, but if you want to run this upside down or scout style, on say like a backpack shoulder strap, which I think the design is just perfect for that, like the size, you can slide that screw down and it gives you locked in tension so you won't accidentally lose the knife. So that all great. You got the extra loop of Kydex for the fire steel that I'm kind of about. You can remove that to slim it down a little bit, and then you do have a Kydex loop there that is ambidextrous. You can swap it right or left. You can do scout style. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So if you are attaching it to a belt, there is no problem and you are gonna really enjoy it. But for such a compact design, I way prefer taco designs on compact fixed blades because it not only cuts down on weight, it cuts down on profile. So it's just an easier to transport, organize, put in maybe a large survival kit, those type of things. It's just less real estate going on than this giant pancake. And what a lot of people have started doing in recent years, and myself included, I love carrying a compact fixed blade in my pocket in replace of my pocket knife. And so this mini Boker has a little pocket clip with the taco, slips in there, you don't even know it's there, and now you have that utility of a fixed blade and durability. And it's a more natural attachment point and just easier to pull out and you know, deploy and just use wherever it is. Whereas this, even though you can take off that, you know, fire steel loop, it's still going to have a giant profile if you were to get an ulti-clip and put it in your pocket. So ultimately, though very good, it would have been great to have a slimmer overall profile for how compact the fixed blade is itself. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. When it comes to these small fixed blades, do you prefer taco and like pocket clip, or do you prefer a broader profile and a belt attachment? So for any fixed blade to be a true home run, it has to hit 3 specific points. Having good blade design and steel choice, which they have absolutely done with this Cub, giving us a good sheath for transportation. And even though I was a little rough on it, I mean, this is a very well executed belt sheath. Like for belt mounting, you're gonna be hard pressed to find one better. So in that category, it's excellent. And then finally, the handle, the ergonomics, particularly on a small knife like this, the ergos have gotta really hit, really slap. So in this case, what we are looking at is burlap micarta, black on this version. You can get several different color combinations, and they have just literally replicated the original, just shrunk it down. So all the dimensions are just gonna be shrunk down. And the thickness on that micarta is gonna be 0.74, great girth for a compact fixed blade, better than a few of the competitive options I'm about to run in here. You got those torque bolts right there, and all the shoulders, everything is nice and smooth, rounded, zero complaints on that front. Here's where we run into a little hiccup. From top to bottom on the top end, we're looking at 4 inches overall. But if we actually flip right here and we go from guard to where the micarta stops and then we have exposed tang, it's 3.5 inches of spanning width. For some perspective, my hand being large size with gloves on, that's what I usually wear, as you guys well know, we're looking at a spanning width of 3¼ inches from up here to down there, just for some reference. What happens is when I grip the knife just naturally, I just go to grab it, boom, and hold it, my hand starts to rub, my pinky is rubbing on the exposed back tang right there. Now, with general use, it's no issue. You know, wood carving, I'm push cutting, making a feather stick, I'm going through cardboard, whatever it is, I'm pinch, pull cutting, no issues. I did start to notice it. That's biting me a little bit right there, that exposed tang. That was something I was a little concerned with. When I do a reverse grip with my hand, all the pressure gets sent right there. And when I would just grip it in certain points, it's not causing a hot spot, but I'm feeling a different texture and a drop in thickness on my pinky, and it's just something that I'm aware of and kind of like gnaws at the back of my mind. So it's just something to be aware of, and it's just there. And honestly, if they had just fully encapsulated the thing with micarta, it would have been perfect. You know, like, I don't know, what's the one where you're like going perfect temperature, you know? Goldilocks, there we go. It would have been Goldilocks, you know, finding the perfect grip if this had been encapsulated, or if they had just kept that and made the whole knife handle like a ½ inch longer, probably would have been perfect. So I would say it's a very solid triple, and depending on how wide your hand is, zero issues. If you start going much wider than the palm dimensions I just gave you, you're definitely gonna start rubbing up on that back exposed tang portion. Leave comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Solid triple. I'm thinking baseball because my boys are getting into baseball. On the handle design. Let's run in some competitive options here really quick, just for some perspective. And we'll kick that off with pricing. The URSUS Cub comes in at $200. Now, I will have links in the description box below to the competitive options I'm about to run in here, as well as the Cub itself. So if you feel like it's right time to pull the trigger, always appreciate when you go through those links provided. That's about $50 less than its big parent. So just kind of give you some perspective, these are usually about $250. I do appreciate White River Knives hooking me up with this model so I could unpack pros, cons, help you determine for yourself if it's the right choice for you. When I'm making this video, I believe they're about sold out everywhere. I'm sure they're gonna be dropping another run any day now. So if you click on the links and they're sold out, just circle back, you know, put it on your wish list, get email notifications, and I'm sure they will be dropping again soon. So at $200 in comparison, first one I wanna run in here, previously reviewed the SE Cincillo, I believe, American made as well. This is MagnaCut in their first production run, burlap micarta, Kydex sheath. Between the two, the White River definitely has the better Kydex sheath. I was not super impressed with this. Both are quite large and blah, blah. This one's like $175, so about 25 bucks less, full flat grind. You're gonna get kind of the opposite, again, where you can see like my hand is all encapsulated up here by the micarta, and so it doesn't really create that like transition I was talking about, but you're gonna have some metal contact up here, really deep guard, nice and like slicey and sweeping. But if you were to ask me between the two, I way prefer the blade profile and grind on the Cub over the SE. So that is something to note and just to be aware of, and I prefer the Cub's Kydex sheath. So that $25 difference there, I feel like, and I don't think, yeah, it does have a 90, okay. But it's just something to be aware of, but that is a viable option depending on blade profile you choose. You're gonna get very similar size and, you know, American made and all that different stuff. Now on the flip side, I have here like a fully customizable TJ Schwartz Confidant in MagnaCut. Very similar size. I can't remember the Rockwells that he's doing. I wanna say it's the same. It might even be like 63, 64, I believe. So very similar, very high grind, sweeping belly, all sorts of, you can get leather, Kydex. Again, not quite as slim as the Boker that I highlighted earlier. Here's the Boker. You can just see how much real estate is on the back end. I really like that. The Boker ends up being one of my favorite like EDC fixed blades in the size range because of how long the handle is. So something to consider. And the handle, speaking of handles, this is like 0.6 on the thickness. And I think this one is right around the same, maybe 0.7. So the URSUS is definitely gonna have the thicker handle. This is a great option. You can customize all kinds of stuff with it. Again, it's similar in grip, but because the handle scale goes all the way, that's just kind of what I'm saying. You don't feel the difference in transition that you do. And it's just kind of like, you know, as the Cub. So, but $300. So you're looking at $100 more for some customization aspects and some different features that this has. So this, I believe the URSUS Cub is falling right in the middle and hitting a really good price point for what you're getting and all the different, you know, aspects and the size and dimensions of steel. Well guys, there you have it. The URSUS Cub is an excellent contender in the EDC realm of compact fixed blades, regardless if you're taking it on your next backcountry adventure or to run around the property. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. What is your take and thoughts on this design? And particularly those of you who have already scored one of these, how has it been performing for you? I always appreciate your guys' feedback. Data helps me get ideas and just kind of know what you guys also experience, because this is just me and my mileage. Your mileage may always vary, and just helps me to create the next video. And this is a team effort here. Me and you guys in partnership together. Thanks so much. Check out the other video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Until next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.